will support school governing bodies, provincial education departments in implementing certain sections of the Bela Act. This is important for harmony and clarity in the sector. Furthermore, I have instructed the Department of Basic Education and the Director General to continue with pace the process of developing draft regulations, norms and standards, and policy that will inform the implementation of this Act. I want these to be published for public comment within the next 6 months, taking us to June 2025. Public participation is an important step in the lawmaking process. It gives South Africans an opportunity to make their voices heard and ensuring that they make inputs in the implementation of this Act. And so once these regulations have been published, the public participation process will thus then begin. Much has been said about this piece of legislation, and at times it has regrettably been used as a political football. I now want to make it clear that the time for that is now over. I will not tolerate any weaponizing of this legislation for political means. The future of this country and our learners depends on us being able to do our work. The debate around mother tongue education is an important one. Mother tongue education has been proven to assist learners to achieve good learning outcomes. It is important, therefore, that this Act is not used to undermine any language that is selected for teaching and learning. All 12 official languages are protected by the Constitution. Additionally, our schools should not be used as a battleground for narrow political interests. Our schools must be places of safety and learning for our learners. And so I will guard against this. I also want to make it crystal clear that I will be guided by the rule of law and the oath of office that I took. And so I am warning today that any person who seeks to victimize schools or school children outside of the rule of law will be dealt with harshly. The development of regulations, norms and standards and policy will be determined by me in conjunction with the public, as the President has determined in the commencement presidential minute that he signed yesterday. Above all, I do want to remind South Africans that we need to place children at the heart of everything that we do in making this Bela Act a reality. All 13.5 million learners are my responsibility, and I will seek to protect them at all costs. Learners in South Africa deserve a quality education system, and I'm committed to ensuring that that happens and that they receive that at all times. Thank you. I'm happy to take questions, colleagues.
Speaking out against this, do you...
The one thing that's on top.
All right. Let me handle these two questions first. On the issue around legal challenges, look, I mean, the process is as follows. The President take this on review and bring it before a court of law. We will any legal challenges. And I think it's also just important to say that if this matter is taken to court, that perhaps instead of it being the subject to political contestation, that perhaps the court is not a bad place for the determination of whether or not this law and this act meets legal muster. And so I do not discourage organizations from exercising their right to being able to access the courts. But as I've indicated, that will be done on the basis of a legal challenge against the government. And then on the issue around timelines, and Llewellyn, you're absolutely right, people are interested in the timelines, but I also want to make this clear that guidelines and regulations in particular take time because of the public participation element of it. However, I have committed to moving with pace because I would like there to be legal clarity that is given to the sector as soon as possible. I want us to draw the line now in this matter so we can implement the bill that is supported by guidelines and regulations. And so that's why this is a multi-pronged approach. Number one, I would like guidelines to be sent I've instructed the team to send guidelines to all public schools by the end of January 2025. I would like the regulations to be published for public comment by no later than 30th of June 2025. That then takes the process to the public participation part, and so of course I can't then determine how long that will take. But then of course, as I'm saying, I've instructed the DG that I would like the publication of these regulations to be done by June of next year.
You know, to a certain point, we've got to just give the minister some time. Just some time for her to be able to just prove us wrong. Because a lot of us still think that she's going to try and implement it more the DA way, where they're just going to seek to promote Afrikaans as if it's the only language that matters in South Africa, in the way that the Democratic Alliance has tried to make this whole Bela Bill or Bela Act situation only about Afrikaans, as if they're the only language in South Africa. Making as if this is an attack on them, but this is more of a promotion of more opportunities for the majority. But the minister, right here, what she says in terms of no one, especially in political contest, being allowed to make this about politics and their political contests. Because when it comes to children, we need to put the children of this country first. We are very struggling in education, especially in South Africa. If you've seen how things like technology, science and mathematics, what they call them, the STEM, science, technology, I don't know what's the E, and mathematics, you know, very, very struggling. So we've noticed that a lot of these schools that have lesser children in their classes are more able to pass with higher into marks. But we want this for the broader community so that we can compete as a whole. I am 95% behind the Bela Bill. Personally, I just disagree with it when they talk about children not failing to produce their ID, their birth certificates. This opens a door for foreign kids, for foreigners to be able to fill up that whole education system, because then they not have to provide their identification. Now this I can't support, I'm sorry, because I need them to abahambe. We need to first prioritize our own. But it is like they say, bittersweet. It's better in that extent, but it's sweet that no kid will ever be denied again because of the color of their skin and because of a school governing body that seeks proper judgment and is biased in some of the decisions that they take. Yes, SGBs need to lose their powers as they've had in the past. Gone are those days, shit. We don't need people. Most of these people are just people who are unemployed, have never proven anything, but because of favoritism, like how it does in politics, now they can decide on kids' education. When you have more educated people who can make proper decisions there in our Department of Education. So that is what I'm against. I'm against people who aren't so bright making big decisions that are way above their thinking capacity. Guys, we now need to have the intellectual and the academics make the real decisions for us, because we are struggling and we need real capable people to take us forward. South Africans, I'd like to hear what you think about this Bela bill. Do you think the minister will act accordingly? Should we give her a chance? Because she's been threatened by guys like Abofikile and Balula. If she doesn't do her job, she'll be fired. And I'm sure the president has had a word with her. Because, like we've seen, President Ramaphosa is one of those people who are very cool, calm, collected. We might not all like him, but I believe he's had a one-on-one conversation with the minister. On minister, I need you to do this within the law and putting political affiliations aside. Because now you are a minister of the Republic of South Africa. Under the ANC as much as a DA minister. Well, I wish the minister success in this journey, because we need young kids to start going to school in grade R, so that by the time they go to grade 1, they don't go and give teachers trouble in class, because now they're struggling to write an A, a B, and a C, which is what they should have done in the pre-primary school, grade R. I hope this yields success, not only for me, but for the future of our country. This is our country. We must fight for it. We must fight for all mother languages, mother tongue languages. We must fight for them. A lot of us have went to English schools since almost forever, and are unable to write properly our own mother tongue languages. Listen to us talking English. We can also talk our Sesotho. But in terms of writing proper Sesotho, that's a problem, because we never got mother tongue languages when we were still young. We have always put English and Afrikaans first. But the Afrikaners, they don't want to even put English or Sesotho or any of the other native languages first. Only their languages matter. Look at the fight that they've put up. But it is what it is. Maybe it's a sign that also some of us, the black communities, should also put our languages first. We cannot have always been putting their languages first when they can't even, for a second, just try to be more understanding. They fight tooth and nail, as if their language is the only one that matters in this country. But I'm glad that it was clarified that this is not a fight against Afrikaans. So, the Brugger-born people and those who are going to that monument, relax. This is not a fight against you. It is a fight against school governing bodies that are full of racism. At a point in time, things will be done to stop those who are trying to stop progress. We need to progress in this country as one and forget about this segregation things. Yet again, this is all our country. Let us fight for it. Like within the words of our president, Morena Bolokas Chaba says, Lord, protect our country. I love you.